This is a graph showing the number of high school boys joining their volleyball club after the drop of Haikyuu manga. Let's talk about it. One of my favorite developments in life is showing how manga and anime impacts in real life things in a positive way. The more notable example of this is in the realm of sports. Noah Elias pulling out to the track field with a full-ass Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel disc, or Israel Adesanya showcasing his inner Rock Lee at official weigh-ins. Life truly imitates art. But what happens when a manga and anime series shifts culture? That is exactly what Haikyuu did for Japan volleyball. In the land of the rising sun where all the young boys only think about football and baseball, volleyball was honestly a dying sport by 2010. But then, with the huge commercial success of a volleyball manga called Haikyuu in 2012, there was now a huge gold rush for the sport. People became fascinated by the story's protagonist Hinata and his pursuit of excellence within the sport of volleyball. Surrounding Hinata is a diverse and star-studded cast that elevates the story to the highest of heights. One of the most fascinating parts of this NHK doc about Haikyuu was when they were going around interviewing different high school volleyball players about their favorite Haikyuu character. To my surprise, everyone nearly had a different answer, which shows how three-dimensional the Haikyuu cast is. People are able to get something different from a wide range of characters, each providing a different way to get deeply invested into the story. You need some god tier writing for that, and that's where Haikyuu curator Haruichi Furudate comes in. And I want to spend some time nerding about this dude because his backstory is pretty insane. Firstly, Furudate sensei never read Jump growing up, let alone manga in general. Sensei was once asked what his favorite manga was growing up, and he was like, I don't know, I don't read manga, One Piece I guess? What was even more fascinating is that he didn't even possess any drawing skills majority of his young adult life. Actually, after college, Furudate was at a design company making flyers for supermarkets. He was deadass drawing cartoons of housewives and cashiers on a flyer, and that was his job. The boss at this job was extremely savage and one day demanded the young Furudate to show his drawings. Once the boss saw the drawings, his only response was, "This is ass." It was evident that Furudate didn't want to stay in a dead-end job drawing clip art all day, so he made a leap of faith by applying to Jump at the age of 25. Him showing his manuscript to Jump was also a whole-ass movie. The day of the meeting, Sensei wasn't even done with his manuscript, so he was even drawing on the bullet train on the way to Tokyo. Even worse, my dude was running late to his first meeting! The only thought that was running through Sensei's mind was that he was a total failure as a working adult, and this was a lost cause. Jump to him storming into the Jump building lobby, he meets with an editor named Honda Hiroyuki. And let me tell you, this Honda-san was goated for this, but as he flustered Furudate was apologizing profusely for running late, Honda-san just brushed him off by saying, "I'm not punctual myself, so I don't really care." Then he goes about flipping through the manuscript, which was about volleyball. Even though Honda-san felt the drawing was rough around the edges, he was instantly hooked by the story. The scene that got his full attention was when Hinata saw the view of the summit. When the editor saw the scene, he was like, okay, we got something here. What really propelled Furudate forward was his commitment to finishing some unfinished business. In Haikyuu, Hinata never really had a chance of becoming a volleyball player in middle school, but was given a second chance to do so when he entered Karasuno High. Furudate also wanted a second chance. All his high school life, he dedicated his life to volleyball. Even as a grown adult, Sensei was still attached to that period of his life and is unable to let go. But what was gnawing at his heart was the fact that he couldn't get as far as he wanted. That gnawing feeling was so strong as the years went on that even with very minimal manga drawing skills, he was like, I have to finish telling my volleyball story through the vehicle of Haikyuu. Then, he went on a John Wick level of commitment. He drew over 600 draft pages to completing whole ass side missions like creating a horror series purely to raise his mangaka skills. He was also committed to research. He went to countless high school volleyball games to soak in the noises energies, and get well acquainted to his high school playing days. My mans was so committed to his research, he was almost hit with that Dr. Disrespect labeling because he found himself following some of the high school boys all the way to the subway station. The culmination of all this was the series Haikyuu, Furudate's love letter to the sport of volleyball. A full circle moment for Sensei was many years into his pro career. He got the chance to officially collaborate with Japan's spring high school volleyball tournament. They had this amazing collab ad poster plastered all over the city, and Sensei was discreetly walking around Tokyo to check them out. At one said location, he ran into an elementary student pointing at one of these ads and exclaiming, "Ah, it's Haikyuu!" which really moved Sensei. This 100% reminded me of the time when Kana Akatsuki, the creator of Violet Evergarden, was riding the subway and overheard two girls excitedly talk about Violet anime, which made her incredibly happy. But talking about good anime adaptation, can we just quickly talk about how great Haikyuu anime was? I mean, I could create a whole separate video about this, but I just think Haikyuu anime took this IP on a whole new level. The ability to show painstakingly realistic animation through both fast-paced scenes and also showing accurate 3D bodies. I honestly cannot praise the animation enough in how they're able to manipulate this 18-meter long and 9-meter wide space called a volleyball court. The most impressive thing about Furudate was his ability to bridge the gap between the average Joe and the top 1% of professional v-ball players. We even got to the point where players of Team Japan co-signing Haikyuu and even nerding about it. Haikyuu helped Yanagita Masahiro reminisce on why he fell in love with volleyball in the first place.
僕自身も春高出たりとか、そういう経験があるので、そういった自分の経験とリンクさせて読むことが多かったので。
Or Yamauchi Akihiro, part of the 2024 Olympic squad, started saying he was motivated to practice after reading the Haikyuu manga.
漫画読んでて、なんかバレーしたくなるなとか、テンション上がるって言ったら変ですけど、なんか来るもんありますね。
I mean, this is meta as hell, but one of the aces of the team, volleyball superstar Yuji Nishida, even acknowledging that a lot of the YouTube comments are people comparing them to actual Haikyuu characters.
そう自分たちが試合して、動画が YouTube に載るときにやっぱ例えられるのが配球の選手の名前であって、やっぱそこの影響はすごいし、でそこから知ってもらえるっていうことはもうバレー界にとっても自分にとってもすごい嬉しいことだったので。
Why this is even a bigger deal is that both Japan's men and female team are freaking good. Side note, I was on a YouTube binge of the women volleyball team, and not gonna lie, I thought I was watching a spin-off of Haikyuu because it was entertaining as hell. When you got the players from the third best volleyball team in the world huddled together talking about their favorite manga moments, I mean shit, you don't need any better advertising than that. It really is this positive feedback loop from volleyball players at middle school and high school levels to even at the top 1% of the 1%, all reading and showing mad love to Furudate's masterpiece creation. Furudate could finally put his past volleyball failures to rest, knowing that the future of Japan's volleyball is in good hands. Drawing manga is only 10% fun, but the moments when you hit those 10% are just too good to be true, so I draw to experience them again. I want boys to think volleyball is so cool.